Hey guys, welcome back to another plant shop vlog where I show you guys all the behind the scenes of what it's like running a plant store from home. This week is going to be a little bit short. I don't have as much time as I normally do to prepare things for the shop. I will be going out of town this weekend. I'm going down to the shore, so I am going to be busy Saturday and Sunday. So I just want to prepare everything that I need to do for my shop today, Friday, before I leave tomorrow, because I usually tend to do a lot of my shop maintenance and stuff like that on Saturday and Sunday. I just want to make sure that I have it done so I'm not like worrying about it in the back of my head for like next week. So today I really just have to water the whole studio and I have to restock the shop. I already pulled out a bunch of plants that I'm going to be restocking this week. I put them aside last week, so we can take a look at those today and see what's ready. And for right now, let's go ahead and water all the plants in the studio. If you hear a little bit of a buzzing noise in the background, it is just my water pump. I have my water pump in my 3-gallon bucket and we're going to be using my sprayer here. It is detachable. You just stick the pump in the water and then you can spray like that. It makes it much easier. And we are not going to be fertilizing this week because I did fertilize last week. If you haven't seen last week's vlog, make sure you guys go check it out because I did get a brand new shipment of plants for June and we had some really nice ones. So if you like the unboxings and stuff like that, definitely check that one out. And make sure you guys do check out my shop as well because I did just restock my store on Thursday with all the new stuff. So we do have a few different types of plants in here this week. I also did update all the pictures of all the other plants on the shop as well. So in case you were looking at something for a while, all the plant pictures now are pretty up to date. So they are showing their new leaves and everything like that. So pretty much the whole studio needs to be watered, including my plants. I do usually water the plants all at the same time once a week. They all are basically on the same schedule. If I do notice something is still wet from the last time, I will just skip over it. It's not that big of a deal. So whenever I do have to go out of town or if I even go on vacation, it doesn't really affect me or the plants because I have such a good schedule with them that I'm never worried about when I have to go on vacation or anything like that. And this time I'm only going to be away for pretty much a full day and then I'll be back on Sunday. I'm going out on Saturday all day and then I'm coming home Sunday afternoon. So it's really not that big of a deal, but I do a lot of my content for YouTube and I also do a lot of my shop maintenance on Saturday and Sundays. So it's important for me to get it done now so that I'm not like stressing about it on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I use those days to edit the vlogs and also do like my restock for the shop, like all the maintenance stuff. So I usually just like to have everything done on Saturday and Sundays. I am really excited to go out this weekend. This will be my first short trip of the year. I have lived in South Jersey my whole life. I live closer to Philly now. I'm about 20 minutes from Philly. But I did grow up in a small town called Mays Landing, and it is very close to Atlantic City and Ocean City Beach. That is like where I grew up, so I'm very much a Jersey Shore girl. I'm gonna be going to Atlantic City with some of my friends. We are doing like a girls' night type of thing, so I'm super excited. So I am really excited to go down to the beach. I haven't been to the beach probably since I think last year. I do try to go to the beach a lot. It's like one of my favorite things to do. I'm not worried about the plants when I'm gone. I'm mostly just worried about when I come back and me having to pack orders like as soon as I get back on Sunday. I already have quite a few orders since yesterday. So I pulled out all the things that have sold and I just set them aside so it's a little easier for me when I come home on Sunday. So I just hope that I am not super tired so I can just get everything done. Like I said, I am going to Atlantic City, and if you know anything about AC, it's definitely adult focused. So we're going to be staying in a casino. We're going to be gambling and having a good time. I'm hoping I don't die this weekend because I don't really drink like that anymore. The older I get, the more I don't want to drink. If you guys don't know, I'm 30 years old and I'm turning 31 in July. And a few years ago, I was not the same person that I am like today, especially with all the plants and my business and stuff. Since having a business, I have become so busy that it's really hard for me to plan anything. I definitely don't have a social life like I used to before my business and stuff like that. And that's okay because I really want to just focus on this. Life definitely does change when you have a business because you are working 24/7. Even though you're working for yourself, you're working 24/7 plus your other job if you have another one like me. So I am really busy all the time. So it is rare that I actually get to do stuff, but I am really excited to go out this time, even if it's just for one day. I did skip a few of the shelves because a lot of them were already still wet from last time. So we can just move on from those. And my Restock cabinet is already watered as well. So now we're just gonna do my Millsbo tall, which is this cabinet here. So as you can see, this top section is all my Hoyas. It is a complete nightmare right now. Let me just give you guys a overview of what is going on in here. As you can see in the back, we have a lot of blooms happening and they're all getting stuck. We have a runner going outside of the cabinet. All these plants also need to be repot. I just haven't got around to anything. These are the Hoya multiflora blooms. This plant blooms a lot. As you can see, it has 2 more up there. The pink ones belong to the Hoya fungii, which is this one back here. Sorry if the camera is shaking. It's really heavy and I'm holding it, so I apologize. But we have blooms here. We have 1, 2, we have 3 in the back there, which it's literally behind my pegboard. And then I have one right here as well. This top section is a mess, I know. It's not happening today. I keep putting it off, but today is not the day that it's gonna happen where I'm going to fix this up. Maybe next week we can redo my cabinet. Yeah, it's not happening this week. I'm just gonna water them and let them be. So my Hoya collection has definitely grown a lot over the last couple of months. I really am starting to enjoy the Hoyas a lot, and they're just also super easy for me. So I always like to just propagate them from the shop plants, and I'll just take a little piece for myself and then I will just grow it out as time goes on. But I really do love them lately and I'm hoping to collect a lot more. A lot of them are sun stressing as well. This one in the back, let me zoom in so you can see. This one in the back here, that's my Hoya New Guinea Ghost. It is sun stressing pink and it's just sun stressing from being in this cabinet. I have 2 of the Barina lights at the top there. They are just 10 watt each, so it is definitely possible to sun stress with those lights even though they are a low wattage. I use the Barina lights all over the shop, so the shop shelves and in my cabinets I do have Barina lights everywhere, and those are just the ones that I prefer. So yeah, there is a lot going on in here, I know, and I'm gonna get around to it. Sometimes it's just a little hard to get around to everything because my focus is obviously the shop, not my stuff. And also a lot of the stuff that I do with my own personal plants, I tend to do it off camera. I kind of just enjoy that time alone. I'll do some of my personal stuff here and there, but most of the time I just do stuff for the shop, and that's why the shop always looks perfect and my stuff doesn't, because I just, you know, I prioritize the shop stuff over the plants that are actually in my collection. The reason I do a lot of my stuff off camera is just because I enjoy doing my plant chores for myself as well. I see it as my own personal time and I see it as like my own little stress relief. So I do enjoy doing them off camera just by myself. And so that's why you don't really see me like do a lot of stuff with my plants besides just water them. Because I feel like that's kind of like my time, especially being a content creator on YouTube. Like I'm constantly filming everything I do for the store. It's nice to just be able to enjoy the hobby as well off camera. So that's why you don't really see me doing stuff with my own plants. But yeah, this is the current state of the Millsbo, which I am going to get around to. It's just not happening right now. I've had this exo for a few months now, and it was originally going to be for anthurium. Well, it doesn't really work that great for anthuriums, at least the size that I bought, because the anthuriums I have are just way too big. So I've had to move those around. So I decided to make this my little alocasia enclosure. Since I have been collecting a lot of alocasias, I decided to make it an alocasia enclosure instead. So here's what it looks like. I did this off camera like last week, so I do have quite a few alocasias now in the collection, as you can see. I do have to trim some leaves though. And I do have just this little Syngonium chia pens variegated in here because I had nowhere else to put it. So I just stuck that in here. But I do have a display case in here as well with some other high humidity ones. The top of this is magnetic, so I just have the magnetic Varinas on the top, and it is mesh, so it doesn't really hold humidity that well. If you wanted to, you probably could get a piece of like plexiglass or plastic and cover the top there, but I don't really care. A lot of these guys live in regular room temperature anyway, so it doesn't really bother me that much. However, when I do water everything in here, it does get quite humid and hot because of the lights. These are all watered now. I just literally forgot to press record, but they're watered. It is going to start getting a little bit humid in here. I can feel that it's pretty warm in here, even though it does have a vent on the top. Like I said, I think the lights keep it quite warm and humid. Some little spots I do have the plants sitting on top of leca trays so that the extra water gets soaked up by the leca, but it also does help with the humidity a little bit. So yeah, this is the current enclosure for them, and I do like it. However, I do feel that I could live without this EXO. It was very expensive, and sometimes I just don't think it's worth it. So anyway, let's go ahead and start working on this week's restock. So last week while I was doing the big June restock, I was also pulling out plants that I knew I wanted to restock the following week. I try my best to restock every Thursday. Sometimes it's a big restock, but sometimes it's also a small restock. So usually the big restock happens at the beginning of the month, and then throughout the month I will add in some propagations and little things like that that are recovering and stuff like that. So I have a decent amount of plants here today that I want to restock this coming week, and I have already set aside plants that I want to restock for the following week. They are in their own bin, ready to go. So let me just take you guys through the plants that I want to restock this week. So I do have a mixture of potted plants like these, and then I also do have some stratum and perlite plants as well. First one here, this is a Monstera albo. It is in a 6-inch pot. This right here is the oldest leaf, and I think I'm going to cut it because I do see some yellowing on the sides. It does have a really strong root system. I believe this was a mid-cut. So since it was cut, it's going to take a little while for it to put out the leaves that look like this. So usually if you do propagate a plant and it has leaves that are fenestrated, the next couple ones are going to look like regular until it gets back to like the state. It could take a couple of leaves for it to, you know, start showing fenestration again. But this is the newest leaf. This is why it's like a little bit different color than this one. But it did size up a lot compared to this first leaf. So this is the current one. And it is still hardening. That's why it is like a little bit of a lighter green. But we have this Monstera albo. And I also have this little one here, which is a little tiny guy. It is a propagation. I'm pretty sure this was just a node that I had growing for like months, and it finally put out these two leaves. This was the original, and then this is the most recent. And it's been growing for quite a while in the stratum, so it is definitely ready to go. And I also have another one. This one's a little weird because the leaves are like growing into each other, but this was the older sleeve, and then this is the newest one. This one also is a stratum plant, so it has been growing for a while and it looks pretty good. These are both Philodendron Orange Princess propagations, so they were just one leafers. They both were just the one leaf, these big ones, this one and this one. And now they're finally growing some more leaves, so as you can see, they are growing the small ones for now, but eventually they will get big again. The big leaf is still hanging on, so we'll just keep them. And they have also been growing in stratum as well. And then we have this one over here. Next one I have here is Alocasia Friedeck variegated. This one is like an interesting one. It's really, really tall. It does just have two leaves, but it is really nice. It does have some high variegation. It has like the minty color on this one. It does look pretty good, but it is quite tall. I also have a propagation of Amy Durium medium blue. This is a prop off of my mother plant. Here's one leaf here, and then here is another one. This plant can like fenestrate kind of like differently, so it can look like this, or it can look like this without the inner fenestrations, and it is a stratum plant as well. Then I have this little propagation here. This is just a neon pothos, which I know is a little random, I guess, for my store, but I do have a neon pothos in my personal collection that I cut down because it was getting too long. Instead of me just making another plant for myself, I just decided to pot some of it up because I figured somebody would like this, and then I can just list this as like a little clearance plant or something, and then you can do whatever you want with it. But it has been growing really nicely. It has some nice roots too, and it is getting quite long. The next one I have, this one is Philodendron White Knight Marble. Has this very pretty marble variegation. The leaves are really, really nice, and it is just in a little 4-inch pot. I also have this Philodendron Red Anderson. This one is a little bit of a lower variegation one. I also do have some like little clearance plants that I want to put up this week. So whenever I do like clearance plants, it's usually plants that are like damaged or like rehab plants, or just plants that are just not that aesthetically pleasing. There's nothing wrong with them. They just don't look the greatest. So usually I mark those down. It's perfectly healthy. It's just not growing the nicest. And these are just like good little rehab plants that you can just chop them up or whatever you want to do. They're not like perfect looking plants. This is a Philodendron SP Columbia. It does have some like leaf burn and stuff like that, but it does have a new leaf coming in down here, but it is pretty healthy. It does have really nice roots down here. So I probably just will mark this one down as well. And then lastly, we have one really like rare plant that we're gonna put up this week. This is what it's looking like. It is also going to come with the pole attached to it because it's going to need it. This is a plant that you definitely want to keep on something, so I'm just going to include it in the price. So back in December, I did get these little burl marks flamed. If I can remember the video, I will tag the video so you can go back and watch that. I think I got these right before I went on like my end of year vacation. These were very, very small. They were like this small, super, super tiny. And this is what it's looking like now. I will say that this plant has grown quite slow. It has lived in 100% humidity since I got it as well. So the most recent leaf is this one in the middle, and it has sized up quite a bit since the last one as a comparison. You can see. So I think very soon this plant is probably going to get a little bit bigger and start fenestrating. I'm not really sure what the market is right now for these. Sometimes I feel like the Burl Marks Flame prices are kind of all over the place. So yeah, I am really excited to bring this one. I do have two of them. I'm gonna put one up for now because I do have two. And the other one, I just wanna kind of see how long it's gonna take for it to start fenestrating. They are pretty much the exact same size, living in the same condition with the same moss pole. So yeah, I am really excited about this guy here. It is in a 5-inch pot, and it also has really good roots as well. So that's what I have this week for Restock. Gonna just clean them up because a lot of them are kind of dirty. They've just been sitting in a bin. And then just sticker the ones that don't have any stickers on it. And then I'll just take pictures of them, and that'll pretty much be it for today. Like I said, I am leaving tomorrow, so I am kind of losing my whole weekend to do like plant stuff. Then I'll be back on Sunday to pack all the orders from the big restock. So if you did order anything from that restock, you will see it in the next couple clips being packed. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with my restock, and I will talk to you guys later. Hey guys, today is Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time to pack orders. I have a huge stack of orders today. I think we have close to 20 orders or possibly more. This is all orders from this past Thursday through Sunday. So I did the big June restock on Thursday. So all these orders are the result of that. I do anticipate a really long packing day, so I'm going to just quickly get through this so I can get started. We do have a lot of plant accessories that sold this week. So I have a ton of the moss poles. We have the mini size here, and then we have the small size here. We have a bunch of them. They are moss poles. They do connect together. They come flat, and then you just assemble them together to make a nice moss pole. They do come in different colors and sizes. So this is the small size, and it does come in clear, which is this one. It is highly clear. You just have to remove the film on it. We have frosted clear, which is this one, and then we also have white, and then this is the mini size. This is in clear. We also sold some seedling trays. These are great for your propagations and allocation corms and stuff like that, even gardening things. We have the clear ones here. So the bottom is clear, so you can see exactly what's going on. And then we have the same thing in black as well. We also have a bunch of trellises that sold. We have the large round, the small round, and then the small U-shaped ones. We also sold a display case this weekend. Sold a 1-pound bag of my soil-free potting mix and a 2-pound bag of my custom pond mix. Also sold a bunch of plant pots. I have plant pots ranging from sizes 2.5 all the way up to 9.5. So now let me show you guys all the plants that sold. First, we have all 3 of these anthurium paps. We have this one over here, we have this guy, and then we have this one in the back. Both of the anthurium blue pap, we have this one, and then this one. Then we have this anthurium pap crossed with dark phoenix, Rapidophora tetrasperma variegated, Philodendron gigas, Syndapsis trubii Moonlight Marble. A lot of Hoyas did sell this week. We have both of the Hoya Polynura Broguette Silver. We have this one here, and then we also have this one. 3 Hoya Sunrise. We have this one here, and this one here. All 3 of the Hoya Sarawak, we have this one, and this one here. They all come on the bamboo trellis. Then we have Alocasia Dragon Scale Variegated. This one is one of my favorites. I'm obsessed with this new leaf here. We have Monstera Thai Constellation. This is a seedling. And then lastly, we have this Philodendron El Choco Red. It is a seedling as well.